Best war games to play in 2022. Hello and welcome back to ElBlox. Roblox has some really exciting games in 2022. New games are up in every department, especially anime and fantasy. However, the war genre on Roblox is experiencing a boom with some really high definition games. In this video, we take a look at the best war games that you should be playing in 2022. If you're a fan of war games, you need to check this list out. Stay tuned. Before we start with the video, however, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications and updates. This way, you'll never miss another video. With that said, let's jump straight into today's video. Ballista. Ballista is a game with some really good medieval combat. There was a drought of some really good medieval war games on Roblox for a while now. However, Ballista is a good addition. This is an insanely fun war game where you and your allies charge into one another and your enemies in large chaotic battles that are insanely fast-paced. The objective of the game is to work together with your allies to push the enemy back as you capture their small encampments. Each team has 2 encampments at the beginning of the game and will fight for their first camp in no man's land. You'll win the game by pushing your enemy all the way back to their fortress, or by making them run out their lives and then killing them off. There are 3 classes to choose from: Archer, Soldier, and Men-at-Arms. There are also subclasses with different abilities and power-ups. The game has plenty to offer in terms of gameplay, as it requires you to strategize your plan to defeat your enemy. Go check this game out. Fireteam. Fireteam is a great tactical shooter to play with friends. Squad up and work together to win by playing for different nations. There are several classes to choose from, ranging from anti-tank to the simple rifleman. All classes work together towards a single goal: win the game and drive the enemy from the field, capturing and securing points all along the way. You can have 60 people on one server, which means it's a fast-paced action game with a lot to experience every minute that you're on the battlefield. Fireteam is a great game to play this year. It definitely should be on your list of games this year. D-Day. D-Day is a classic. The game is based on the Allied landings in Normandy in 1944. The game has 6 capture points that both the Allied and Axis must fight for in order to achieve dominance. The job of the Allies is to storm the beaches by either naval craft or parachute to reclaim France and push the Axis all the way back into the city. Playing as both teams is possible, and both teams have their own perks, with the Allies possessing access to paratroopers and vehicles like landing craft. The Axis, on the other hand, holds advantage in defense, making for an amazing mix of offensive and defensive gameplay depending on the situation per server. The game is incredibly fast-paced and has an arcade feel to it, which will keep you engaged for hours. This game is worth being on your list of best Roblox games. Go check it out if you haven't played it already. Dead Ahead. Dead Ahead is a great game for those who love sea-based war games. If you don't know what that means, it's basically a war game where you can play on the water. That's all there is to know. Dead Ahead is a naval combat game centered around 2 factions fighting it out on the high seas. There's 70 players per server, and as such, there's mayhem everywhere you look. You can take the fight with the enemy right up close with your destroyer, or rain hail on your enemy with fighter planes. The game ensures a unique experience every time that you work with your team to defeat your enemies in both the shore and the sea. Just cause chaos by rushing at the enemy with your destroyer. You'll love this game a lot. Campaigns. Campaign is the final game on the list that you should definitely play in 2022. The best war game in my opinion. The game is more of a war clan event than your typical Roblox game. The game is based on Napoleonic battles where massive lines of players can face each other on a massive scale. Battles can reach as high as 4,000 players. Basically, players fight on a huge map divided into smaller battle flanks. Each flank is on a different server, and 400 players are placed in one flank. You can have interflank battles of 200 versus 200 players. The game works by number of tickets given to the flanks. Every time a player in a flank gets killed, the flank loses anywhere between 1 to 5 tickets depending on whether the player was next to other players. As a result, players must stay together in line formations. The flag is an important part of each line unit, and every time a player dies, they spawn on the line flag. Captured flags mean the Lions' team loses 100 points and also respawns all the way back to where they originally spawned. There are also regular updates to the game, and you need to play it to understand how it works. Those were 5 great war games to play in 2022. Hope you enjoyed the list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.